You can cut it. Go ahead.
Hey, it's the Zach Nichols Podcast.
And you're watching the Governor's Comedy Club Podcast.
Let's go.
Tony, welcome to Governor.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on? What? Alright, you go in, Tony. Good.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead radio show. You're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
Hi, thank you so much. Tony Walker in the house.
Yeah, he's the only one screaming, but I like him. He's good.
Yes, Tony Walker.
I like Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker's really good.
Tony Walker's all right, too.
Tony, I love you. Tony's got half of ass. Some say that it's made of glass. He fell on it one August day. Broke his ass in many ways. Humpty Dumpty had a fall. Tony Walker was the wall. Had an issue with his leg. Now he thinks he's egg. He ate an egg. My friend Tony Walker. I'll punch you right in the freaking eye. Not you, Tony. I can never punch you because I love you too much. I can't punch somebody like you. And you can't even run after me. It's not even a fair fight. It's not even fair. All right? Tough guy? Tony, Tony, you're a phony baloney. I'm gonna cry. Tony, you're the best. You're hysterical.
You love me, and so how am I ever to know? You always tell me, perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. A million times I've asked you, and then I ask you over again. You only answer, perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. If you can't make your mind up, we'll never get started. And I don't want to wind up being parted, broken hearted. So if you really love me, say yes. But if you don't, dear, confess. And please don't tell me, perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. Perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. If you can't make your mind up, we'll never get started. And I don't want to wind up being parted, broken hearted. So if you really love me, say yes. But if you don't, dear, confess. And please don't tell me, perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. Perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. Perhaps, perhaps, perhaps.
Oh, I got an echo. Now it's gone. Hi, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. That was Amy Rhiannon Worth singing for us. Doesn't get much better than that, let me tell you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Show. It's Friday. The Knockem Dead Comedy Show. We're coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, New York. On govscomedyclubpodcast.com. Not .com. Gov's Comedy. Sorry, I'm doing a million things at once. Gov's Comedy Club Podcast on Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, I'm just going to concentrate on talking to you guys now. I'm trying to set up because Chris Roach will be zooming in shortly, and I'm just trying to make sure everything is all good to go here. So thanks for joining us today on the Knockem Dade Comedy Show, coming at you live from Governors in Levittown, Gov's Comedy Club podcast, the Facebook page, the YouTube channel. No matter where you're watching from, please share the link to all your socials. Tell everybody you know to watch all the great shows here at Gov's Comedy Club podcast. We've got a bunch of great shows here. Coffee with the Dog, Donversations, Steve Squared, Hershey and the Keegs, Sports Bash, Primal Scream, Circling the Drain, Treading Water, Let Them Cook, a superhero podcast, all sorts of great stuff. So, tell everybody you know about all the great shows here at Gov's Comedy Club podcast. And if you're watching on Facebook, we appreciate it. But if you'd like to take part in the conversation today, you want your comments read live during the show, well, then switch on over to YouTube if you don't mind, because that is where we monitor the comments. GD has commented. Hello, GD. Mickey is watching and says hello. Happy Friday, everyone. Ann said yesterday she was it yesterday? You said you used to drive your Chevy truck. That's kind of hot. All right, let's see. And our first call from Romeo for the year. Happy New Year, Romeo.
Happy New Year. I want to get you before your guest is going to zoom in.
Okay.
I just want to say Happy New Year to you.
You
and
too.
I want to thank you. I want to represent all the knockers and thank you for all your endeavors that you do. It's very hard, ever hard work for you to have this show aired 5 days a week, and we appreciate you. And it's going to be a fantastic year. I'm looking forward to it because I know you're going to have you're doing your best to give us some great entertainment Monday through Friday. And thank you very much.
And thank you, pal. As always, you always have a whole bunch of kind words, and it's always appreciated. And I appreciate our everybody like you. That's part of our extended family here and supporting it and making it great. I wouldn't be having fun if it wasn't for you guys.
Well, and the new introduction with Miss Roth with that song, perhaps that was a wonderful addition for the new year.
Yeah, that's a nice way to get your day started, isn't it?
Yeah, and I visualize that's a cha-cha. I don't know if you know about dancing, but at one time I was a pretty good stepper.
Really?
And, at one time, yes, at one time. I used to go. You probably heard of it, the Roselands Ballroom.
Of course.
In Midtown Manhattan.
Yeah.
I frequent there.
Ah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I didn't go for the ballroom dancing. I just went for the regular dancing. But my fantasy, because we all have fantasies, is dancing the cha-cha with Anne, one of your viewers.
Yeah.
Who I never met, but I think that would be great.
Wow.
And then my second choice would be a co-host that you have, not on Wednesday but on Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't need that visual of you and the Wednesday co-host doing a cha-cha together.
That would be hysterical. Well, anyway, again, thank you very much. Looking forward to a great new year with the Knockem Dade Comedy Show. Of course, you have an open invitation anytime you're down south. I did book 2 tickets for Valentine's Day.
Right.
See that show.
Yep, the Uncle Louie Variety Show.
Uncle Louie Variety Show. Yes, it's a restaurant. I think you have to patronize the restaurant, but that's fine. That's good.
Yeah, it's Valentine's Day, baby. You take Dawn out on a fun date.
Every day is Valentine's Day with my wife.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah, every day is Valentine's Day. Anyway, listen, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Well, thanks for the call, pal. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you soon.
Love you, pal.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, I'm sorry. I love you too, John. I should have said that. Sorry. There he is. Good morning, my sunshine on the phone. Wow. John kissing. John is so smooth. That's why we call him Romeo. Throwing out there, a bunch of nice things about his wife and Anne. That's smooth right there, man. Only John can get away with that. So, All right, cool. And there they go. Good morning, my sunshine. Hi, sweetie. Oh, and the phone's ringing. Wow. We're off and running this morning. Good morning, sir.
One of my fantasies is to do the cha-cha with you, Tony.
I had a feeling that's what you were going to say when I saw it was you calling. Wow. So either you're feeling better or you're on good meds that you're thinking about us cha-chaing together.
Well, anything to get through the day, and especially if it's the fantasy of Tony cha-chaing me with my cha-chas and my tatas.
I'll take my leg off, honey. You can spin me like a dreidel.
Oh, stump me, baby.
Give you the best stump job you've ever had, baby.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, I'm actually, dude, today's like the first day that I'm like up and trying to get back into civilization, dude.
Oh, and how long has it been?
I was in bed from Sunday until yesterday. I had to go back to City MD to get more of a note to stay home. I mean, I went to a salt cave. You ever hear of these places?
No. What are we talking about?
It's this place, dude. Like, my ex told me about it. Like, you go to it, and there's, like, sand on the floor, and you walk in, and they shut the door behind you, and supposedly it's, like, the equivalent of 45 minutes in this thing. It's a room, and it's got, like, it's like aromatherapy.
Okay.
But it opens up your, like, your pores and everything, and, like, help you breathe, and it's supposedly for 45 minutes, it's supposed to be, like, 10 days at the beach, breathing in like the fresh air and the salt water and everything.
Wow! And so you went?
I went yesterday, dude. Yeah.
And you think it helped you?
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Wow!
Absolutely. You're breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Like they teach you, like not teach you, but like they tell you how to do it. And yeah, I kind of like took a little nap inside this, like I don't know, man. Fortress of Solitude, like Superman.
and was there a happy ending at the end?
No, none of those. No, I didn't have that. I think the place is kind of on the up and up because I did come out with my my pants down and I got thrown out.
But I felt better.
Yeah.
You have to pull it out.
Oh, what is that? Is that Zozo with you?
Yeah, she's doing her press on nails. So she made me open up the glue.
Oh, sorry, I wouldn't have talked about that if I knew she was sitting there. Sorry.
No, she started. No. It's okay. You're not on speaker.
Oh, okay, good.
She wouldn't even. You know what, dude? Nothing phases her. She probably wouldn't even like entertain the idea. She's like, "Oh, Daddy's talking weird again." But I swear he's only cha-chaing with me, Zozo.
It's like, thank God I have these nails to play with instead of listening to this.
Right.
Well, glad you're feeling better, and we look forward to seeing you back in action on Thursday night. Yeah,
I will be there.
And your guest was able to reschedule?
Yes. He said if he has an issue, he'll let me know like early in the week. But if not, I always have backup reserves, and if not, the show must go on.
Absolutely, that's the spirit, pal.
I'm ready.
Excellent.
Oh, brother. Have a good weekend.
I'm glad you're feeling better, pal. See you next week.
Later.
See ya. Nick Greystone checking in. Wow. I love when the show goes off the rails and we have no idea what's going on. We are probably around 11:30. Hang on. I'm screwing up already. There we go. I'm going to stick it right there in my face. Right there. Around 11:30, Chris Roach will be calling in. Looking forward to that. Chris is always a lot of fun. Chris has been a good supporter of this studio and the shows here. He is performing tomorrow night here at Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown. Looking forward to his show tomorrow. Looking forward to talking to him today. Go to govs.com, make your reservations. You will not be disappointed with Chris Roach. I will tell you that. You will not be disappointed. So, All right, so let's catch up a little bit. All right, let me catch up on comments. How about that? Vicky's watching. Hey, Vicky says, happy Friday. Oh, Mario is watching. Mario, yeah, we got Chris Roach joining in, so I'm going to ask him how things went with Debbie, and because they were in the Christmas Carol together this past holiday season. Hey, Chris, Mario and Debbie here. All right, Mario, that was just a picture of Chris over my body. Chris is not here yet, but I will tell him you said hello. So yesterday we had a guest. Hope you guys enjoyed that. But we didn't really get to catch up. Did I see Carol's watching? Oh, hi, Carol. I missed Carol's, she says, morning. I missed that at first. Glad to see everybody's back here and hanging out with us. Happy New Year again to everybody. Hope everybody had a great holiday season. What did you guys do? How was your holiday, Hanukkah, Christmas, whatever you celebrate? Hope it all went well for you. So I had a great time. I had so we took 3 days off on Christmas week. So we did that Monday, we did that Friday. And then this week we took Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. So so it was a nice break. You know, Sammy took off from her day hab. Lisa was off from work. Zach was working, but he was, he was still around. So it was nice. It's always hard for me to come back from these extended breaks, because when I take these breaks, usually the family is with me. So it's nice. It's nice to be with the family, and it's nice to sit around and do nothing for a few days. So, but in this case, we didn't do. It wasn't a week. It wasn't a holiday season of doing nothing. Let me tell you, we had a lot of fun. Lisa and I saw David Clark at Westbury Music Fair. Had an absolute blast. I didn't even realize when I bought the tickets, we had second row. It was second row center, and we had aisle seats. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Well, unless you're in the first row. But second row, aisle seats, dead center. David Clark, the Yellow Brick Joel, they call it. It was a Billy Joel, Elton John thing. So David Clark, you've seen him. He's been in here many times. He was on the show, what was that, last week, 2 weeks ago? And he does a great Billy Joel tribute band. And he brought out this guy named Bill Connors, who I'd never seen him before. I thought he was fantastic as Elton John. Looked like him, sounded like him. And they put on a fun show. And it was fun. I knew some of the band members, and I hadn't seen them in a while, so it was nice to see them. There are a lot of fellow Joel heads that were in the audience, so it was nice to see some friends. It was really nice. As soon as Lisa and I got there, I looked to the right, one section over, right in the front row, was Dennis Farrell. If you guys remember, a few weeks ago, in fact, it was when David Clark was on here with us, when he Zoomed with me and Diane. And was Frank here that day? I think Frank was here. If you guys remember, I told you about it the next day. So we did the show. Dennis Farrell was commenting throughout the show. And then a half hour after the show ended, he had a heart attack, a massive heart attack. And he did a few days in the hospital. I think it was like 4 or 5 days in the hospital. But, yeah, there I go to see the show, and the next section over, right there in the front row, was Dennis and his wife. So that was nice. That was nice because, I mean, I knew he was doing well. I had been in touch with him. He's been on Facebook and stuff. But it's still, things are a little more realistic when it's in your face. So to see him and then, think about just, like a week prior, the man had a massive heart attack, and there he is enjoying himself at the concert. The guy's only 61 years old. He's got a lot of life left in him. And he's a fun guy. He's a funny guy. So, so that puts you in the Christmas spirit, to see that, he was able to overcome that and enjoy his holiday season, enjoy his life and the people around him. So that was nice. And the concert was great. Had a great time. in the band, Michael Jewell, who was in here once playing keyboards when we had Jill Joya in here singing. Caroline Purr, who is an old friend. She performed at Knockem Dead Comedy for a while on our Murder Mysteries. She was in here on the show once or twice, but it's been quite a while. I've been trying here and there. Every few months I'll bug her. Want to come in and do the show? I can't. But yeah, she's great. She was singing backup. Yeah, it was just a great time. So the very next day, one of Lisa's Christmas presents was going to see A Christmas Carol. She loves that, pretty much every version of that story. Scrooged is one of her favorite movies. The Scrooge with, I forget the guy's name, the black and white one, the popular one. Not Barrymore. That's, right? Is that one of the Barrymores? I know that's one of the Barrymores in It's a Wonderful Life, play Mr. Potter, right? I forget now. Debbie's Kitchen. Oh, it's Debbie. If I'm watching you live, that means I have to miss The Price is Right. Oh, well, thank you for sacrificing Drew Carey for us. We're going to talk when Chris joins us this morning. Chris Roach should be joining us on Zoom around 11:30. When he joins us, we're going to talk about you, Debbie. I mean, we have other things to talk about too, so don't get too excited. But I am going to bring you up because you and Chris just did A Christmas Carol, which I owe you guys an apology. If I knew that you and Chris were going to be in it, I would have gotten tickets to see that. But I bought the tickets to see it at the Argyle. I bought those tickets for my wife for Christmas before I knew you guys were doing the show. So my apologies. If you do it again next year, you let me know. And then plus, I want to bring you guys back in here because I know I saw your post that said Mario's returning to the stage soon. So I'd like to find out what that's about. And whatever it is, I'll go see it. George C. Scott. No, that's not the one I'm talking about. Alistair Sims. I think Vicky's right. I think that's the one. I'm going to look this guy up. Alistair Sims. Yes, that's the one. Alistair Sims. That's the Christmas Carol that Lisa really loves, that movie. So anyway, yeah, so we went to the Argyle. Zach, I bought tickets for the four of us. Be a nice family outing for Lisa's birthday, for Lisa's Christmas present, or one of her Christmas presents. And then it turned out Zach was working. So it was just me and Sammy and Lisa went. We enjoyed it. It was actually kind of cool. And same thing, we had aisle seats again, second row. But it wasn't center because we were aisle seats. But we were the end. But it was fine. It was fine. But it was actually kind of cool. There was one of the performers. Now, if you're not familiar with the Argyle Theater, it's in a town called Babylon. I'm pointing. Am I pointing the right direction? Actually, it is. It's that way. It's southeast of here, about maybe half hour tops, maybe a little less. But their shows are union actors. So we're talking Broadway caliber stuff here. So you're going to get a really good show. Now, back in 2011, good old White Post Farms. Where I work every fall. I do the fall season there. Their fall festival. In 2011, they did they were open for the Christmas season. They had like this little Christmas village, with the animals. Santa was there. You could take pictures and whatnot. And what they did was they had they hired a group to come in to perform children's shows. And this group asked me, yes, Frank C. Hello, Frank C. Happy New Year to you, pal. The Argyle is very similar to the Engelman Theater up in Northport, which, same thing. Union Broadway caliber shows. And then you have Gateway Playhouse out in Bellport, which is way out east. They do the same thing. So anyway, in 2011, White Post, they hired this group to come in and do children's shows, and this group hired me to take A Christmas Carol and make like a half-hour kids version of it. which I put it together, which I was very proud of. We had the ghosts. One of them was like a Richard Simmons type. One was like a cheerleader, and then the last one was like your typical mafioso type. And so we made it silly, and there were a lot of silly things. We made it comedic and stuff. And the group that hired me, they were part of a local theater, and they were bringing in a lot of their own people in to be a part of it. I didn't have to cast it or anything. I just adapted the play, wrote the script, and I got to perform in it. But one of the and they use a lot of this particular theater has, like most local theaters do, they have children's programs, classes, teenagers, kids. And they brought a lot of these guys in as extras. And there's the one part where in Scrooge where Scrooge is watching himself as a young man, and him and his girlfriend break up. I think they were engaged to be married. They ended up breaking up. So the kid that played the young Scrooge in our version, we go to the Argyle Theater to watch this show, and this kid is in it. He played Scrooge's nephew, the one that keeps asking him, come to Christmas dinner. Turns out, he's gone into acting, and he's an equity actor, and he performs, on Broadway and traveling productions, does a lot of professional acting. And he was in this play, so that was kind of cool. So like I said, going to see David Clark and seeing Dennis there, that puts you in a Christmas spirit. And then going to this show, and you see like, oh, I don't know, you just kind of wonder if, like, did I contribute to this kid deciding to grow up and be a professional actor? I didn't get to see him after the show. I waited around a little bit, hoping to bump into him. Never saw him. I don't know if he'd even remember me, but I just wanted to congratulate him, tell him how cool it was. But didn't get to see him. But still, it's stuff like that really kind of makes you feel good. And then the same day, that night, so we saw David Clark Friday, the 27th. The 28th, we saw A Christmas Carol at Argyle for the matinee show. And then that night, Lisa and I came here to Governor's and saw the Uncle Louie variety show, which you saw Lou from the Uncle Louie variety show here on, what was that, the day before Christmas, I think it was, where we talked to him? Christmas? No, I'm sorry, I think it was the day after, right? The day after Christmas, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was the day after. So, Tony, if itself Mario returning to the stage, I mean going to be bag on stage. What? Mickey, I have no idea what you just said. Sorry. So the Uncle Louie variety show. So they you saw them here last Wednesday, and then last Friday did the show here. And that was when Don was here. Oh, that's right. So we did the show with Don. Then we did a special Sports Bash. And then after Sports Bash, I was just kind of shutting things down, taking care of some last-minute things here. And I hear in the club, I hear some voices and stuff. Turns out the Uncle Louie variety show guys were here setting up for that night's show. Those guys, like I said before, I mentioned Chris Roach coming on, should be any minute. Chris has always been a big supporter of the show. Well, Uncle Louie even more so. These guys have always been supportive. When we first started in here, those guys were supportive right away, made us feel, they're one of the first guys that made us feel welcomed here and made us feel like we were really a part of things. And plus, they're just funny as can be, man. They're great. The Uncle Louie variety show, they're just great. So I was excited to see them. And if you saw the show last Wednesday, it was just Lou. So the Uncle Louie variety show was Lou Greco and Carlo Russo. And so if you saw them, if you saw the show, it was just Lou came on. And I was like, oh, where's Carlo? He's busy. He's taking care of things. I was like, okay, sorry. Saw them here, so I see them here. They're setting up, and I go out there. I say a quick hello. Carlo, he's a little distant. And I said to him, Carlo, you all right? He's like, yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. Talking to him quick. Carlo, like I said, he was a little distant. He was, and Lou was setting up. He's like working wires and mics and trying to hook stuff up. So I didn't stay long, right? I just talked to him quick, wished him, have a great show. And I said, well, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to come see the show tomorrow. This past Saturday. So we come to do the show. And so in the show, they do characters. If you go to their YouTube and Facebook, you'll see they do characters. They do all sorts of skits, very funny stuff. But when they do their live show, they also take a turn to do a little something on each, but alone, just one of them on stage. So so Carlo sits and he's telling some stories about his mother and his childhood, and he's it wasn't necessarily a stand-up routine. He's just telling stories from his childhood. And then at the end, at the end of that particular portion of the show, he announced that his mother had just passed away the previous Monday. So was that Christmas Eve? No, that was the day before Christmas Eve, so the 23rd. She had passed away. And that's when I was like, oh, that's why he was distant. That's why he was off. So they take an intermission. And Lisa and I come back here, and I go into the green room just to say a quick hello, because it turned out they were leaving immediately after the show to go, because they're from Syracuse, and the wake for Carlo's mother was the next day. So they were leaving immediately after the show, driving up to Syracuse to get home. So I figured, all right, I won't hold them. I won't keep them after the show. Let me go in during intermission. I just, wished them well, gave Carlo a big hug. I said, man, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I'm so sorry. And I gave him a lot of credit to come out here and do an energetic comedy show when you have a loss like that. Chris Thomas's brother Brian, who was one of my best friends, when he passed back in 2014, and we were 2014, so he was 45 years old. So it was a sudden thing. He wasn't sick. It was sudden. It was awful. And I had to do a show, was it that night or the next night? I think it was the next night, if I remember right. That was one of the toughest shows I've ever had to do. So I'm not going to say it was the equivalent of losing your mother, but it definitely, I think I have an idea of what Carlo was going through that night. And, yeah. So, I gave him a lot of credit for being able to pull his show off. And still have a great show. I mean, I loved it. We absolutely had a great time. It was the first time Lisa had seen them. Just had a great time. So, So that was a fun, crazy weekend in between Christmas and New Year's. And of course, we did the family thing Christmas Eve. We hosted Christmas Eve with my family, Lisa's family on Christmas Day. We hosted. We retired. We did a lot of hosting. But we also had a lot of food. I smoked a big chunk of meat, and it was delicious. I'll be honest. When I smoked it the year before for Christmas, it came out better. I don't know what I did differently, but it was still great. Love my meat, and yeah, it was just a great time. New Year's, we went to a friend's house, had a lot of fun. Yeah, it was just a great time. Oh, so that reminds me. Oh, wait just a minute. I see Chris Roach. Chris Roach, don't move. Let me set things up here so everybody can see you. Hang on 2 seconds. All right, let me do that. Oh, all right, hang on. 2 seconds. Almost ready for you. Just got to set things up here. All right, so we're going to do that. I got to do this. I got to do that. Okay, and I go like that. And boom, we are all set. There he is, looking beautiful as ever. Chris Roach is here. Hello, sir. Look at you in your bathrobe. What, did you just wake up?
I set my alarm for this to wake up.
You're a rock star, man. You get to sleep until 11:30 in the morning.
Well, not every morning, but yeah, most mornings. I just Ooh, it's the life of a comic, man. You feel like Friday and Saturday, you're up late, and then you're like Monday comes, and I'm gonna try to get myself back on a schedule. And that lasts for like 3 days.
Right. And at our age, it takes like 3 days to get back to feel normal again after performing at night and getting home at 3 a.m.
Yeah, it really does. And then there's the travel. It used to be like I would say anything under 5 hours, I'll drive home after the gig because I'm up late all the time. I'm up like 3, 4 in the morning, and now it's like anything over 3 hours, I'm going to get a hotel and stay. It's like,
yep. I hear you.
Piece of shit. Yeah. Can I curse on this? Sorry.
Come on, you know you can. Well, absolutely.
Look at the beard. Wow.
I know it's growing out. Yeah. Well, that's actually one of the questions I have for you. You're feeling all right because you it seems like you're doing great. You've lost weight. You got tats. You got piercings. You're growing the beard out. You're rocking.
You know what? I'm holding on to the years. You know.
What's next? Dreads?
I got a motorcycle.
Did you really?
Yeah. Part of the midlife awakening. I don't call it crisis. I call it awakening. And I started taking motorcycle lessons, and I had it for about a week, and I already messed up my leg.
Well, no sympathy from me messing up your leg.
Oh. Reese's Pieces.
Oh, is that your breakfast?
It's my sugar to wake up.
Well, all right, in all seriousness, your leg is okay?
My leg's okay, but yeah, I could have really messed it up. It was like you're supposed to like squeeze the throttle when you're making a turn and not press the front brake, and I let too much throttle out, and then the motorcycle went vroom, and I hit the front brake. Hit the front brake and went vroom, boom.
So is that it for, or are you still living that dream?
I'm still living that dream. I'm
nice.
Like, okay, I know the mistake I made, and I won't do it again. Hopefully. You're never supposed to hit the front brake as you're turning, because the bike wants to straighten up and it just stops, and you go.
Oh, that's interesting. I would think that's. I mean, I don't ride, but I would think that's like the natural instinct is to hit the brake.
It is, yeah. I mean, you're not supposed to do. Yeah,
right.
I'm learning now. I took lessons, and I failed the first road test. I failed the first road test because, listen, it's early in the morning. I'm not a morning person, and what did I do? I was supposed to like stop and then drive 50 feet into a box and come to a complete like emergency brake. You're supposed to like 30 miles an hour, then go with both brakes.
Oh.
And I think instead of driving up to the first box, I drove straight through the box, and they were like, sorry, man.
Well, you tell them, hey, I'm Chris Roach. So you tell them, hey, I'm Chris Roach.
They had no idea who I was with the big helmet, and it was freezing. We all had like,
Damn. Well, so when is the next road test?
Well, I passed the last.
Oh, you already passed. All right, very nice.
Yeah, I'm a licensed motorcycle driver.
Nice. So you can add that to the resume now. They can,
my beard's so burly because I'm doing a musical.
You do well. Are we talking about Christmas Carol?
Christmas Carol, yeah, tonight.
Oh, it's not. Oh, you're not done yet.
This is the last 2 performances, tonight and Sunday. Tonight at 8 p.m. and Sunday at 3 p.m. I hate people.
Me too.
Yes.
That's it.
Right
period.
Stop right there. I hate people that take down their Christmas decorations the day after Christmas.
So do I.
Christmas ends on Little Christmas.
January 6th.
January 6th. And I think that's why also the last performance is on January 5th, because it's still Christmas season right now.
That's right.
People the next day are like, Christmas is over. I'm like, it's not over. Scrooge, leave your tree up and do things until January 6th and then take it down.
You're absolutely right about that. And that's what we do. Although January 6th this year, supposedly we're getting some snow that day. So I don't know. Maybe I will do it on the 5th. What's that?
How much snow?
I don't think it's supposed to be too bad. I think it's supposed to be just like between an inch or two. So
yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, that's nothing. So I'll probably me being me, I'll probably just leave the decorations up and then take it down after the snow disappears. All right, so so you got Christmas Carol tonight. You're performing at Governor's tomorrow, and then back at Christmas Carol on Sunday.
Yeah, so tomorrow Governor's at 7 p.m. And then back for a 3:00 show on Sunday.
Oh, maybe I'll come because Debbie made me feel bad for not going to see her.
How dare you? I
know. I didn't know you guys were doing it. Before I found out. I bought tickets for to see it at the Argyle, and so now I feel guilty. So maybe I'll come on Sunday.
I never did. I've never done a musical before. Listen, I've taken vocal lessons in the past, and I've done okay in karaoke. Listen, the songs that you can sing, the ones you can't. But if you're somebody who loves karaoke, picture doing karaoke on a treadmill where you're moving around and stuff. I'm like, my character moves around the stage, and I got to tell you, I have a newfound respect. Not that I ever didn't respect, but musical theater people. It's hard. It is hard. Not only just the costume changes. It's like constant, like after every song, the lights go down or whatever. Or people like running in and out and changing costumes. It's especially being as community theater, like people are playing like 2-3 parts.
Right. Yep.
And I've been going on the treadmill and singing.
Really? Are we allowed to ask who you're playing, or do we have to come see it?
Yeah. No, I'm the Ghost of Christmas Present, which is why I said, you know what? I'm going to grow my beard out. Usually I put a little beard color in. I keep it a little darker. But this is my beard. It's like a lot of gray. So I'm like, you know what? It's good for the character.
Yeah.
I may color it today. It makes me feel younger.
and you're actually singing in this one, like solo?
Solo? It's like I'm singing song, like the dialogue is like you can sing song, even the dialogue. You don't have to be like, it's I'm doing okay. But there are some parts where I'm trying to sing, but I'm just out of breath. And there are times I just like skip the whole line, and the other actors looking at me like, I'm like,
the real professional theater people.
Yes, and they always say, just like any kind of theater, they say or stand up, if you mess your line up, the audience doesn't know, so just keep going. For the most part, they don't know, unless they're real diehard theater people. Like, you missed that line.
Yes, and you'd be surprised how many of them do pick up on that. They're amazing. I've done some musicals. Yeah, it's great. Oh, but so it turns out. So Deb's last performance is tonight. So if I go Sunday, I won't see you, Deb. I can't go tonight. So
the last one is tonight. Oh, she's fantastic too, Debbie.
What's it like performing with her, like on a show like this? Is she like hitting on you the whole time backstage?
Yeah, but no, it's like there's no time for any of that. It's like, you know what?
But if there was,
and the thing about musical theater and theater in general, it's like. At least as far as community is concerned, there's like these dressing rooms and people are changing men, women right in front of each other. Like,
oh yeah,
it is no big deal. It's like everybody's just like ripping clothes off, putting them back on, and running out. So that's just show business, I guess.
They don't have like you said. There's no time. That you just got to get the shit on and get back out there.
Yeah,
it really is quite amazing because it seems so hectic back there and almost unorganized backstage of a musical, but it's so crazy. But then when you're out there, it's like, I find it amazing because it's so almost magical, just how well it's all put together and how well it's all executed.
Yeah, and after a while, it becomes like a machine where I know, like when I'm in this one scene and I walk off to the right, I walk around back, and I come around, and I know they got to move Scrooge's bed onto the stage, so I go around back, and when they give me the cue, I pull the curtain open and they bring the bed in, and then I go and get changed. You do these little things to help each other,
right?
But after a while, it just becomes like a mechanical. Like, all right, I do the scene, then I walk around, and then I open the door, then I go in, and I take the Ghost of Christmas Present off. I put the sandwich guy back on, the sandwich board guy, they call him.
Right.
I put my sandwich board back on my different hat. I got to make sure I got to pull out my pants, put them over my boots rather than under my boots for the other car. It's all these like little things.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I'm taking lumps. And there was one time I walked out for a scene that I wasn't supposed to be in. And I played the guy, the Ghost of Christmas Present also plays the sandwich board guy. He's got a sandwich board over his shoulders and he's promoting a musical.
Right, yes.
And, I'm standing out there and Scrooge and the Ghost of Christmas, Future are out there with kids. And I'm standing there like, I don't think I'm supposed to be out of here right now. But I'm just standing there like in the middle, like looking, observing, like looking at Scrooge, like, and all of a sudden the scene ends and I walk off and the ghost comes up to me. She's hysterical laughing. She's like, what were you doing out there? I'm like, I have no idea. All of a sudden Scrooge is having an intimate moment with the Ghost of Christmas Future and the sandwich board guy just walks out there like,
I love that stuff. That's hilarious. Yeah, Deb says that she is hitting on Chris in her mind. She says, I'm hitting on Chris in my mind. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So all right, so that's great. Yeah, I'm going to try and come and see you on Sunday. That'd be fun. But the big night tomorrow night, Governors.
Governors, 7 p.m.
Very nice. I saw that. I did my research, pal. I saw 20 years this past year. Right, was your 20th year in comedy?
On Chris Monte's birthday, July 13th. I think it's been 21 years now.
Oh, okay.
And I took a class, with Peter and Richie, stand-up university.
Yeah.
And I never looked back. I'm telling you, I never looked back after my first show. Now I'm actually coaching somebody, which is weird.
Oh, actually, that's interesting you say that because my next question, after 20 years or 21 years, are there still things to learn in comedy, or is it now just passing along to somebody else? I mean, I know in the acting world, you're always learning, but
it's the same thing. I feel like I always say, just when you think you figured this business out, it just surprises you.
Yeah.
Like every audience is different. You'll walk in and you'll think one audience is going to be horrible just because the energy of the room, or maybe they're small and they're like a phenomenal crowd.
Sure.
But there's a lot of personalities, as you know, to deal with in this business. I just you're always learning. I think you're always learning, and as far as the acting stuff, I feel like I'm going to try to maybe get back in a class because it's like a muscle. If you don't use it, you get really rusty,
Sure. Well, yeah, but that's what I love about doing live theater in particular. I mean, I love, you need an actor, I'll do it. I don't say no to anything, but I find stage in particular is almost like a class in itself because you're watching what the other guys are doing and you're like, oh, I didn't think, you put yourself in their shoes as you're watching. Oh, would I do that? Maybe I would do this. Oh, did you see what they just did? That was amazing,
Yeah, we have 2 performances left, and already I'm like, what can I do different tonight?
Right.
I'm getting more. It's not like it was a Broadway production where they say you rehearse like 80 times. I feel like by the time I actually got it on its feet, I was still like learning the lyrics and stuff. So there are times I'm singing like a group song, and if I don't know the words, I'm like, like I'll figure it out as I go. And also the blocking. This one scene, I'm supposed to be downstage left with Scrooge and singing to him, and I'm upstage right. I'm like, oh God, I got to get over there,
Right.
By the time I get over, I'm like, hey Scrooge,
The stage to me is always a bigger challenge, but it's so much fun.
I love it. Oh, I was like, it's going to be over on Sunday. I'm going to be sad because you're with these people for at least I've been with them since October, and it's like you've grown close with them, and it's like it's emotional. I only done, you know better than I do. I've only done one play before this, and I remember when that ended after like a few months, everybody was like crying. It was like,
oh, sure.
You become a family for a short few months.
And I think that's why a lot of theaters use a lot of the same people over and over, because they know what they can do, and they see the chemistry that they all have together, and that's hard. That's really hard to find.
Yes, and I'm already like, I want to do another one. I want to do,
Yeah.
the tough thing is it's a lot of Fridays and Saturdays, and that's where we make our money in stand-up comedy. So I had to, of course, switch the part with another actor. He also plays the ghost of Christmas Present.
Okay.
I ended up recognizing him. Like, where do I know you from? Because I work at the Big and Tall store in Massapequa. I'm like, yes.
That's really funny.
Another large man.
I and it's funny you say that, because I just watched your there was a bit you posted where a tall Asian guy went before you,
right?
And then did that guy do all the tall Asian bits?
Yes. It is so, what? He's pretty tall. I think 6'5", that guy, but it is so weird. When I meet somebody taller than me, it freaks me out, because I never really think about my height until somebody points it out. But there are times I met a guy from the Knicks once years ago, and I was like, I felt like a baby.
Now you know how the rest of us feel.
Yeah.
And hockey players, I know that's your sport. They're really not tall, right?
No, it's depending on it's like the NHL, like in the early 2000s, everybody was looking for like the really big guy, and then they were looking for the fast guy. It's like it just changes,
Yeah.
But if you can find a guy that's fast and big, it's like ching. A lot of times those really fast guys are like short, and they're a pain in the ass. I played before; they're a pain in the ass to catch.
Yeah, I bet. And speaking of which, do your Rangers have any chance this year? They're kind of not.
Nah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with them. Like in the years past, I could be like, all right, they need a really good defenseman for the power play or something. But now it's like I can't even pinpoint it. It's just a horrible slump, and they won last night against the Bruins. So hopefully they can put together a little winning streak here. But
because Boston's doing well, right? That was a big win for them, right?
Yeah, I can't even pinpoint. Like, was it something in the off season? Was it a player they traded that was like pivotal for the locker room? There are players that are great on the ice, and there are players that are good on the ice but great in the locker room. And
right.
Like the veteran players, and I don't understand what's going on. It's baffling.
Sorry.
It's okay.
So if anybody has been watching movies lately, the movie came out just a few months ago with George Clooney and Brad Pitt that you have you have a scene, right? Or is it? I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, okay.
It's Matt Damon and Casey Affleck, but I would love to work with Brad Pitt. But
sorry, I haven't seen either one. But I heard that you were in. Sorry. Oh, so the Instigators, right? That's
yeah.
All right, I'm catching up now. Sorry.
That's all right. That was Matt Damon and Casey Affleck, and Matt Damon was like unbelievable to work with, and I got to meet Ving Rhames too. It was phenomenal.
Oh, that's cool.
It was so cool. It was one scene that they filmed for like, a lot of times you're like, oh, it's just one scene, but they filmed it for like 4 or 5 hours, like
right.
And it was an amazing experience, and he was so sweet and so nice. Matt Damon, what a good guy.
So talking about what we were talking about before, like trying to get keep the chops going, learning. Even though it's just one scene, but like you said, it goes on for hours. So I'm assuming even that too, because it's such a acting from stage and screen, they're almost two completely different monsters. So
yeah.
you learn a lot from watching these these veterans like Matt Damon and Ving Rhames.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
They just make it look so natural. I love when I'm working with other name actors that I want to see how they prepare for each scene. And I didn't know what. So, like some guys you could talk to during the scene.
Oh, I see. All right.
And some guys you can't. You can see their method with it. Like I did a scene with Clive Owens once. Clive Owen.
Yeah, Owen. Yeah.
What a night. He was very nice, but in between takes, he was just like, or in between scenes, he was just like, I saw he was like going through his lines. He was walking back and forth.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm going to leave him alone. Matt Damon was like really, like you could just talk to him between takes, and he was really, really good guy. Like Richard Campbell's like tell him the story or whatever, or he's just unbelievable.
Do you like any of these guys? Have you ever like tried to talk shop a little bit? Like, hey, what made you think to do this, or why'd you say it that way? Because I mean, I love picking people's brains with this stuff.
Not so much then, but like, you know what? When I was on Kevin Can Wait, what was really cool was there are sometimes during scenes, like say that 4 friends are sitting at a table and we'll do a take, and all of a sudden Kevin or his brother Gary will lean over and go, try it this way, try it with more energy, or try it and blah, blah, blah. They would like give me like little tweaks, which was really cool.
That is cool. I went to the, not the pilot taping, but so that you guys did the pilot, then the show got picked up, and then I went to the first taping then. And I remember they did a scene. It was something with Kevin James and Valentine, and they did this, whatever the scene was, they did it twice. And I think they did it twice on purpose, because not because one it was bad or the first time they actually changed some of the punchlines.
Yeah.
So and immediately I'm like, oh, what a great idea, because I'm sure afterwards they're just looking through it, see what worked better and what they want to go with. And I love stuff like that.
There were guys, the writers would come in sometimes and whisper into Kevin's ear or come up and tell me and try this line. And when you're the other actor, there was a good blooper reel where Kevin changes his line and we all just start laughing because we're not ready for it.
Right,
It's really funny. And one time I remember he called me different names in between each take. Like I said something. He's like, "All right, take it easy, Bigfoot." And one time he goes, "Hey, calm down, Hodor." And and I remember Leah Remini like breaking down and laughing at that. I guess it was popular at the time.
Right. Yeah. And now I've heard you talk about doing a scene with Al Pacino, where after you guys were done, Pacino turned to you and said, "Hey, thanks a lot. You gave me a lot to work with."
Give me a lot of good stuff to work with, and he walked. And first he patted me on my chest, and then he said, "You gave me a lot of good stuff to work with." And he walked away, and I was like,
"Well, all right, but that's my question. Do you have any idea what you did?"
Yeah, we were. Again, it's just one scene.
Yeah,
3 hours of different camera angles, and the director coming over to us and saying, "All right, this time when you do it, I don't want you to let Al get a word in." And every time he tried to talk, we would cut him off with questions. So we went off script a little bit. Right. It was so cool going off script, but just staying with him. And like one time we were like really hammering him with the questions, and they were like, "Cut," and he goes, "Jesus Christ."
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's great. Now you also appeared on One Life to Live, so give us your big soap opera face.
My soap opera face?
Yeah, big, yeah, you're breaking into commercial. There's the dramatic pause. Yeah, that was good.
That's me. I played a mental patient. That was me. Just catatonic, and all of a sudden I started speaking.
A lot of research for that role.
I lived it.
All right. I won't keep you much longer. You're again. I thank you for coming on. I was saying before you came on earlier in the show that you've always been supportive of the show and this room and everything, all the stupid shit we do in here. And we appreciate it very much. we'll talk about this and then I'll let you go. You did this. It's called Speak. It's almost like a TED Talk.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I find with all the acting and now doing stand up once in a while here at the club, going up on stage. Well, I mean, my background is acting. Before, I only got into the stand up like 5 or 6 years ago, and I don't do it that much. Once in a while, James will ask me to host or something. But I find it very hard to go on stage to do stand up because I have to be myself. I'm not doing a character. I'm just doing myself, telling jokes, and you are too. You don't, you're not doing characters. You're up there, Chris Roach, and performing. But now I find that very hard to not be a character. So, but then to go and do this, where you're not doing your set, you're just talking about your life and you're overcoming the fear so that you can do this. I mean, I would think you're talking about fear, but I would think to be up there to even talk about something so personal must have been a big hurdle for you.
Yeah, that was definitely stepping outside my comfort zone 100% because I didn't have my jokes to rely on. And also they're not, I'm doing 5 minutes, but they're not laughing.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling like a story with some kind of structure. But that's something I would like to get involved with more, like these public speaking events. And it's something I need to get better at. Like I right after that, I went to like a Toastmasters meeting, and I don't know if you ever gone to Toastmasters, the public speaking groups.
Yeah, I a long time ago went to one. Yeah,
and they actually sit there like they have one person assigned just to count your ums. So and then so I was self-conscious. Like 5 minutes, I'm like, how many times did I say like 30 times and then I brought cards up there. And I realized, just like when you bring notes on stage, the cards are kind of like break up the energy. Like you'll talk and then also you'll be like, rather than be like fluid.
Sure.
But it was I definitely took some lumps and I enjoyed it and I would love to do it again. But we'll see.
And it's funny you brought up the cards because that's exactly what hit me. It's like this guy who's been doing comedy for 20 years, who always, to me, looks very comfortable up there. I've seen you. I saw you a few times before. We knew each other, and so that actually surprised me to see that.
I look like I was giving a eulogy.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but
the cards make you. They kind of chain you. I felt stiff with them. Where if I was doing enough and I would know what I'm talking, the order of stuff I want to talk about, I put the cards down, blah 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 blah. Which I want to get to that point.
But but I'm surprised because I would think 5 minutes, even though you weren't doing your set, I would still think you're not looking at that saying, 5 minutes, I can go up there and talk about everything I need to talk about.
No, I probably should have prepared better for it.
Wow.
I also it's like just going in there like I'm a comic, I know what I'm talking about. And all of a sudden you go up there and it's an audience and they want to listen to you. They're like all of a sudden you'll say something funny. They're like, oh, are we supposed to laugh? Oh, yeah.
Right.
I definitely took there's things I do. I take a few lumps and whenever that happens, I'm like, that's it. I got to get better at this. I got to get better.
Okay. Well, yeah. And I think you'd be great at it. And I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I thought you did a super job, pal. All right. Last thing I'm going to do before I let you go. Very last thing. So on Mondays, I have a co-host. I have a different co-host almost every day. I have a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, and a Thursday co-host, and then Friday is usually just kind of different. But my co-host on Mondays is a guy named Jeff. I'm showing his picture right now to the audience. You can't see it, so I'm going to hold this up and show you this.
Jeff?
Yeah, that's my buddy Jeff. Can you see this or no?
Hold on. That's like my fat head.
Well, yeah, that's you.
Oh, yeah, I know Jeff. How do I know him from?
Well, yeah, you met him. I think actually this picture might be the night you guys met. You guys were on the train. Just coincidentally, and
with his wife, I think. Well, no, yeah. I vaguely remember that. Yes.
Yeah, and I think you've become Facebook friends since then, and
right.
And he's always, since he started co-hosting with me on Mondays, he's been asking like crazy, "When are we getting Roach? When are we getting Roach?" So, so I felt bad that that he's not here, and we're talking to you, and
sorry, Jeff.
Today is his birthday. So
happy birthday, buddy.
That's it right there. I was just going to ask you to say happy birthday to him. That's
Jeff.
There you go. Jeff is he works at JFK Airport, but he's also been a volunteer fireman for I think almost 40 years at this point. So
you guys are incredible.
Absolutely, he's a good boy. So I just wanted to throw that out there, and I figured maybe he's going to be all upset that he wasn't here for you. So, but he got the birthday wish, so that'll make him feel a little bit better. Tomorrow night, governorsgovs.com. Make your reservations. You will not be disappointed with this man right here. One of the best, and just a great guy all around. Chris Roach. Do you have any idea who's doing the show with you or no?
No idea.
Oh, okay.
That's a good question. I was hoping you could tell me.
I have no idea. I'm gonna guess. Let's see. I'm gonna say. What do you think? Olga and Fat J. That's my guess.
Maybe. Wouldn't be a bad show at all.
No, absolutely not. That's a good show, but it'd definitely be great because you're headlining. So again, govs.com. Go see Chris Roach tomorrow night, and pal, go back to bed and eat something better because we don't want you getting sick again.
All right, brother. Thank you, man.
Thanks for your time. I appreciate it, pal, and I'll see you soon.
I see you, brother.
Thank you, man. All right, there we go. Chris Roach is going to be great tomorrow. Don't miss him. All right, Yep, there he goes. Okay. Let me turn that off. Okay. So there you go. Chris Roach hanging out with us this morning. He's a great guy. Love that guy. Let's see. Let me fix that. Okay. And we're back. Okay. That was fun. Talking to Chris Roach. He's great. He really is a great guy. So what do we got? So it's 12:10. All right, let's see. All right. I think I read everything so far. Yeah, okay. I'm caught up on comments. Okay, cool. That was kind of a weird noise, huh? Okay. Let's see if I make it. I did not. Okay. All right. Oh, you know what I wanted to mention too? Did you guys see also during the break? Oh, right. I know what I was talking about when Chris came on. I'll just stick with the holidays and then we'll be done with it. Because like Chris said, Little Christmas is Monday. And Jeff will be here Monday and we'll move on from the holidays. So I'll stick with the holiday stuff as we get ready for the weekend. You know, it's something that bothered me, and I think it's because I'm getting old. But I don't like the this new thing now where people don't send Christmas cards out anymore. I don't like it. I like getting Christmas cards. I do. And I guess, I guess growing up with my mother, she still does it to this day too. You know, the cards that come, she, has, I think a lot of people have them, right? It's like a thing, some kind of contraption that holds up Christmas cards, And so I grew up with that, so I guess I'm just used to it. So I do it too. We have a thing where we hang all the Christmas cards or we tape them up, whatever it is. And I don't know, it's weird. You with social media, I mean, it used to be, when I was a kid with with Christmas cards, a lot of people would send a card with that little letter. This year, so-and-so went to college. This year, this one got married. This year, we got a dog. Like, they'd have that list of everything they did. Which, yeah, you don't really need that anymore because, with social media, you're keeping up with everybody all year round. I used to like it, too, because, you get the pictures, and you're like, oh, I haven't seen that person in a long time. I didn't know that's what they look like now. Stuff like that. But again, social media, you see the pictures all year round. It doesn't. So I guess you don't really need that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I still enjoy getting the Christmas cards. I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that, oh, this one thought of me. I don't know. Nowadays everybody's, throwing the picture up on Facebook. Here's our family picture. Not doing cards this year. I'm like, that kind of disappoints me. I still send out cards. I didn't send out as many this year. Well, truth be told, the only reason I did it that way is because I mistakenly did not order enough, and I just didn't bother to go to the store to get more. But I sent out. I shorted myself about 30 Christmas cards. I think Lisa and I still sent out, I think, 50 to 60 cards. I don't know. Is it me? Am I just old and old-fashioned? I don't know. It bothered me that I didn't get as many cards this year. Or maybe people just don't like me anymore, which is very much a very good possibility. So another thing that bothers me with the holidays is holiday drivers. You get a lot of people that are out there driving. Either they're rushing around to buy gifts or attend their parties or do whatever they're doing, or you're getting people, I think, that don't drive around as much, and then probably a mixture of the two. You usually see, I don't know about you guys, but I have talked about it with other people, and where it seems like most of us see more stupidity on the roads during the holidays than we do the rest of the year. Carol agrees, but I really enjoy it when people get my last name correctly. Tony, what do you mean? Did I spell your name wrong? What did I do? Did I just write Cal Rubin? Oh, or did I spell minor wrong? I bet you that's what I did. Did I spell minor with an O instead of an E? I bet you I did. Shit. Sorry about that. And I'll be honest too. I'm usually pretty finicky when it comes to that kind of stuff too. Like when people from Isaac, they write Z-A-C-K. Like there is like a little annoyance there. Annoyance. That's a word, right? Ann says, I love and miss getting handwritten cards and letters. My grandma taught me all about how to do them. Oh, wow. Sorry, hang on. There we go. Okay. Carol, I am. I can be a little finicky. So I did. I wrote it with an O. Sorry, Carol. I will not do that again. But at least I sent the card. Sorry. It's January. Another 4 months and it'll be 2 years since I've seen Carol. That is very, very bad. Ugh, that's really bad. So anyway, yeah, drivers. So there are two instances I'd like to bring up from this holiday season that happened to me personally. I was on a road. For those of you who may be familiar, I was driving through Old Country Road in Hicksville. I was stopped at a red light. It was the corner of Old Country Road and South Oyster Bay Road, so it's like the Hicksville-Plainview border. I know some of you don't know the towns or the roads I'm referring to, but people like Carol do know what I'm talking about. So I'm driving. I'm heading east. To my right is a gas station. There's a right-hand turning lane. And then you have 2 lanes, straight heading east. Then there's a left-hand turning lane. So there's a total of 4 lanes. And I am in, I guess, the 3rd lane from the right. I'm in the left-hand lane that's going straight. There's a guy. Oh, so I'm probably the 3rd or 4th car from the light. And there are cars behind me. It's a busy intersection. And it was around 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, which is a busy time. People going to work and stuff, going to school. I'm about 3 or 4 cars from the light. there's at least another 3 cars behind me. Same thing with the right lane that's going straight. The left-hand turning lane is probably 4, 5, 6 cars deep. A guy comes out of the gas station. He comes in. The guy in the right lane next to me, I guess he had a little bit of room. He moves back. This car now is like comes right. I'm facing this way. This car comes right here, and he starts honking at me. So I just look at him. I just kind of went like this, and he's going like this at me. So I yelled. Not in a like violent way. I yelled so you can hear me. I was like, "What do you want me to do?" I had a car in front of me, a car behind me, a car to my left, and now he's to my right. I was completely boxed in. And he never answered me. He just kept going like this. He must have did it 4 times. So the second time was a little more confrontational. It's like, what do you want me to do? I am completely boxed in. Carol says, love it, and you got a special box for Christmas. It was a special, delicious box, which I am not done with. I go very slow with the box and, enjoy, every piece of the box. Thank you, Carol, for the box. Carol did include a little. Carol's box likes a little variety. So in the box, we get the big, hockey puck full of chocolate and peanut butter. This time she sent me one of those full of chocolate and caramel, which, Carol, I have not tried one of those yet. I'm still enjoying the peanut butter ones because I love them so much. I haven't tried the caramel one yet. I think you sent 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, and then I believe, which Christmas is over, so we can talk about it. I believe you sent Jeff a box too, which, I have to say I'm not too crazy about sharing Carol's box with people. But Jeff is a close friend. So it's okay. Jeff and I share. So the other driving instance, with idiots on the highway during the holidays, I was on a road which is right here by Governor's, a road called Hempstead Turnpike. I was in a left-hand turning lane. I was going to make a left onto Newbridge Road to go north, to head towards Hicksville. I was in the right-hand turning lane. There's 2 turning lanes, a left and a right. The turning light turns green. We start, I'm going. The car in the left-hand turning lane made the left, but made the left into the southbound lane. And I'm driving next to this guy, and I watch him kind of go this way, and I just start going, oh, like that. I don't know why. Apparently I'm a seal or a dog or something. Oh. And there was nobody on the southbound lanes. There was nobody there at the time. Thank goodness for this guy. So he goes, and now I'm watching him in the mirror. He goes maybe 200 feet, and he realized it immediately. So you see him right there. He was very fortunate that nobody was around. He made the U-turn right then and there, made a quick 360, came back. So now he's in the turning lane there, and the light was red, but he still just kind of made a quick and started, heading back. So I'm like, all right, this guy, turned into the southbound lanes heading north, made an illegal 360, and then blew a red light to make his little U-turn. Like this guy, I don't know. Lisa figured this guy was drunk. Oh, was it New Year's? Yeah, that might have been New Year's night. I think it was. Carol says, yes, Jeff got a special box too. Jeff will probably never be the same. We'll have to ask him on Monday how he enjoyed your box. And let's see. Every time since Jeff's been coming in here, do I or do I not share a little part of Carol's box with Jeff? You think he'll bring something in for me? Oh, let's see. I mean, I guess I deserve it, because Roach was in here, and I didn't share Roach with Jeff. I didn't share my Roach with Jeff. Goodness. But but yeah, so let's see. Yeah, so there's a lot to talk about with Jeff on Monday. His birthday is today. Happy birthday, pal. We'll talk about Carol's Box. We'll talk about Roach. Yeah, Roach is performing tomorrow night at Governor's. So, yeah, I had to get him on today to promote the show. So I did, just so you guys know, I did ask Jeff if he wanted to come in. It wasn't set up until late last night. Actually, it was almost midnight when I finally heard back from Roach, and he said he'll do the show. So I wasn't going to text Jeff at midnight, so I wrote to him this morning at 9 a.m., said, I'm sorry, I know it's your birthday, you probably got some running around to do, but Roach is coming on. If you're around, come on in. Just do that part of the show if you want. But, yeah, he's busy, and he couldn't do it. So happy birthday, Jeff. Our apologies to Jeff, but you got Carol's Box to make you feel better. So, yeah, we'll talk about Carol's Box with Jeff. We'll talk about Roach. We'll talk about Jeff's birthday. And we'll see what else is going on next week. Do I have any guests planned for next week so far? Well, we have Frank next Thursday with the musical guest. Tuesday, Diane will be here. The return of Diane and Tuesday Trivia. It'd be nice to catch up with her. We haven't seen her in a few weeks. Next Wednesday, we're not here. Wednesday the 8th. I have a dentist appointment. I'm going to do one of those deep cleanings. But, yeah, so that's next Wednesday. So we won't see Mike again until the following week. And says, happy birthday, Jeff. Okay, let's see what's cooking. So today, I think that's it for today. I don't think there's a Donversations with Don. Very excited about the new year, by the way. Don and I have more film work planned. We're going to continue with our Comic Sans universe. Don did put in festivals this year a 10-minute short that's in the Comic Sans world that went into some short film festivals. We filmed another short this year that was about 10, 15 minutes that I don't think has seen the light of day yet. But we have more planned, and we're planning, like the original Comic Sans was a half hour long. We're planning another one that'll be at least that long, maybe even longer. So we're excited. Lots of cool stuff happening. Things are going strong in here. Sports Bash is just completely taken over in here and is kicking ass. Yesterday, Peter had Phil Sims on. Phil Sims is not very good with technology. For once, there was a technical issue that was not in here. And I even said that to Peter. We were sitting here watching. Phil Sims was he was zooming in from his phone, and he was nonstop going like this. He couldn't figure out which way he wanted to go, how he wanted his phone set up, and he was just making a mess of things. And then when the interview started, there was no audio. And I said, there's nothing you can do when it's on their end, so I'm just sitting here like this. And I'm thinking to myself, son of a bitch, this is freaking Phil Sims, legendary New York Giant quarterback. And I even turned to Peter. I said, I wish it was something on our end because then I could hopefully fix it. But it was him on his end. So he had to get off the Zoom, and we had him on the phone, which, I'll take it. That's, better than having no Phil Sims. So, so Sports Bash is going well. All of our shows are going well. Like I mentioned, Donversations and Treading Water and Steve Squared and Hershey and the Keegs. Hershey and the Keegs been getting some great guests. Those guys are always hilarious to watch. Treading Water, I mentioned Primal Scream and Nick Greystone, who called in before. He'll be back on next week. Lots of great stuff happening here. So we appreciate the support as always. So yeah, I think we're done. I don't know if there's anything going on this weekend. Don and I have not done a green room in a couple of months. I don't know. I'll have to talk to Don. I don't know if we can get one in this weekend, Saturday or Sunday. Maybe. Yeah, but then, Monday we return. Coffee with the Dog on Monday at 9 a.m. Me and Jeff Monday at 11. Treading Water at 1 p.m. Steve Squared at 6:30. Let Them Cook at 8 p.m. Let Them Cook is going well. I keep bugging these guys. They got to get more guests. They got to do more stuff. But they're getting their feet wet. They're getting themselves going. So it's going well. So, lots of good stuff. We appreciate all the support. Looking forward to another great year with you guys. This year will be in March 12th will be our 7th anniversary of this show. 7 years. So, looking forward to another great year with you guys, having a lot more fun, lot more great guests, and just lots more great memories. And here at some of the comedians you'll see on a Governor's stage this weekend, Jim DeLakis is playing, I forget the days exactly, but I forget the clubs exactly, but he's playing one of the clubs tonight. He's playing one of the other ones this weekend. And, of course, Chris Roach is playing the main club tomorrow night. We have tomorrow night as well, I think this is at the Brokerage, the Comedy Insurrection. Mike Keegan, George Gallo, John Santo, Chuck Fox, Pat O'Rourke, and a host of other comedians as well. That's a good lineup right there. So go check that out. They announced some more Anthony Rodia dates coming up in another week or two. I think it's at the Brokerage this time. James Camacho is playing, I think, out at McGuire's, I believe it is. And if it's not sold out, it will be, so go get them. Louis C.K. is returning. I believe it's sometime in February. Lots of great stuff happening here at the club. Jay Moore is coming back towards the end of February. Lots of great stuff happening here at Governor's. Go to govs.com to make your reservations to some great comedy shows. Go to knockemdeadcomedy.com. Check out our schedule. We're lining things up for the new year. Go to knockemdeadcomedy.com. You can check out our schedule, information on us, as well as info on how you can hire us for your corporate event, your charity event, your event, private event, just any event where you want to make some money. All right, your club, your restaurant, whatever it is. And that is it. We are out of here. Everybody enjoy your weekend. And thanks for hanging with us. Thanks again to Chris Roach. That was a lot of fun. And that'll do it. Everybody enjoy yourselves. Stay warm. See you later.